Bravo! It sounds really, really, really good. I love it. It's so intense. You guys have such commitment to the music and such commitment to the score, yeah, which is really, really impressive, and it's really brings out the character, which I really love. So this beginning, it's kind of nerve-wracking, at least for me, right? Is it? What do you think makes it so?
It's quiet and kind of foggy and mysterious.
Yes, it's quiet, right? It's not one of the that immediately you are kind of in your sound comfort zone. Okay, yeah. What else? What else makes it, or could make it, kind of? Okay, the sports sounds. What about them?
Well, I guess the character of them is just.
Okay. Okay, intonation, yeah, because you have a lot of open strings, yeah, you have one here, so you really want to be able to anticipate it. Now, how about the tempo? Yeah, the tempo is always a tricky thing, and we talked a lot about it kind of in the Opus 127 of how to know which tempo we are entering into, and how to actually, as a group, enter into the same tempo, yeah, without any hesitation. So, any thoughts on that? Like, how did you feel starting the piece?
A little unsure.
Okay, yeah, good. So, kind of, what do you think would give you more confidence in this beginning? Because again, in the beginning, we want to feel kind of at our best. Yeah. What would give you this security?
Cue.
The cue. What about the cue?
Some sort of definitiveness, but not too much because that would look like it wasn't very mysterious. So.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So something that is very clear but extremely into character, yeah, not something that is technical. Absolutely agree. Now, what about the 8 notes? Because who is, or should I ask, who is responsible here for the tempo? You are, yeah, because you have the 8 notes. So maybe kind of the two of you have to make sure that you enter kind of into the same motion or into the same pacing, yeah? And I think in order to do that, what, at least for me, what is very helpful is always to think, oh, where am I leading the first bar to? Yeah? So where are you guys leading the first bar? To the second bar. Yeah, right. Here it's kind of. Now, how would you count this bar? So yeah, the bar counting, yeah, we will call it pacing. How would you pace this whole beginning? Are you thinking in 4? Are you thinking in 2?
2.
Yeah, I think that kind of supports the rather slow harmonic rhythm. Yeah. So why don't you start from the beginning and kind of be mindful that you are going to really show them with your pickup what kind of tempo, what kind of character, and what kind of sound, yeah, you guys are entering, and you are responsible to kind of pick up on it, and when you start the 8 notes, from the start you know already how it's gonna go, yeah, and you guys also follow this leading into the second bar. I still felt that you are a little bit unsure, especially in the first bar there, somewhere around that area. What I would think is not, kind of go from the bigger picture, okay, and kind of think that the small details will follow. Can I just ask maybe to break it apart a little bit and just have the two of you guys? And maybe for once, yeah, you are going to give the sign, but basically I want you to lead the tempo and the pacing and everything. By leading, I mean that, of course, you are going to play exactly the way you imagine, but you also want to communicate it. Yeah, you are leading. Let's try that. Okay, very good, very good. How did Yeah, I think it felt better because it's like now you feel that you have floor, ground to stand on, yeah? One thing maybe that I would suggest is that, you know, it's quite interesting that he doesn't start you on the top C, he starts you on the bottom C, so it's like, yeah, pum, 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 yeah, so you kind of want to start the first bar, yeah, without taking time, without anything, but kind of go from, you know, the bottom of the chord. Now, can I ask, and that's a question for all four of you, what kind of sound do you want to find in this piano? And by sound, I mean everything, the character, the density, like everything. Do you think about that?
Cover kind of.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, they're just a little foggy. Not too much core to the sound.
Okay. Now, what about the intensity? Is it a piece that starts kind of from, you know, low setting and then in the middle it blows, or it starts already kind of like?
It definitely has intensity.
Yeah, like from the first one. Yeah, it kind of it starts already boiling. So maybe this is something that I don't hear 100%. I hear a lot of the hushed quality, but I don't quite get enough of this intensity. And I think what you maybe want to acknowledge a little bit more that this is minor. Yeah, this is minor. This is C minor, kind of the, you know, the dramatic key. And the dark key. So I would like to hear maybe a little bit more darkness in the sound. Now, you talked about the core. Now, I would think a little bit, again, when you're choosing sound for a beginning, you want to kind of think, how does it compare to the rest? I mean, of course, we still have forte and fortissimo to go, but there is quite a bit of pianissimo in this movement as well. So you want to leave some room, yeah, to really drop in the pianissimo. So I would say that the piano is not the softest dynamic. Yeah, and now if I were just, you know, to have a blank score in front of me, I would think, you know, that this is the softest place in the entire movement. Yeah, so I think you want to bring a little bit kind of more to the table. Yeah, can we try it now with everybody else, and you keep doing what you are doing? What I like is that you are really communicating, and there was really a good connection. Now you guys also, you know that it's every time it's going to go from the first bar to the second, from the third to the fourth, right? And you kind of, with your bow speed, you want to anticipate and follow this pop, 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 pop. Yeah, try. Excellent. That was very, very good. Now, how long is the first phrase? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, sorry. Yeah?
Yeah.
Any other suggestions?
Like it could go until A.
Basically, A is the first big arrival, yeah? Which is measured to 30, yeah? Kind of weird, yeah? So it's a phrase that kind of gets elongated, yeah? And I really want you to kind of have me carry through this phrase, yeah, without any relaxation, because there is basically no arrival, no nothing before this letter A. And I feel that sometimes in the long notes, I kind of, I lose the interest. And so how, in technical terms, how are you going to approach that? What do you want to think about? How are you going to keep the tension going?
Vibrato?
What about the vibrato?
Faster vibrato?
Okay, yeah, so keeping the energy in the vibrato. I would also say keeping the energy in the bow. So every time you have a long note, you don't want to ta, da, 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 da. So obviously you didn't play like that, but we actually keep the sostenuto, yeah, and all the time. That's what binds this whole phrase together, yeah. Even when you have and kind of be mindful that you are going until letter A. Okay, can we try that again? Now, I would also maybe suggest to think that the first forzando is not exactly similar to the second forzando, right? Maybe second one is a little bit more intense. Yeah. So again, you want to think about how you structure and how you build this phrase. Try that. I was kind of encouraging you to lead, because yes, and it's a little bit difficult how Beethoven structures it, but because they naturally take more time. But I think that's part of the magic and part of the tension of the phrase, that it's uncomfortable. Yeah, so I would not actually let him accommodate you, but you kind of want to think that you are part of something larger. Okay. Yeah. Now let me ask you guys another question. Now we arrive at letter A. I love your chords. I hear that this is fortissimo. Yeah. Now it sounds a little bit faster than how you start the beginning. Is that something intentional? Did you think about that?
No, I think we tried to avoid that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so try to play the chords as you're used to. Okay, and now try to start the beginning. Maybe I was also kind of encouraging by doing that, but I actually, in a funny way, I like your tempo that you arrived at letter A a little bit better than the tempo of the beginning, and kind of, maybe I'm wrong, but I had a sense that most of the movement you played in that tempo and not in the tempo that you started. Yeah. And I think, again, going back to the question about how to enter into the same tempo in a beginning, yeah? Very often it's actually helpful to think about another place in the movement where the tempo feels really right. Yeah, so for instance, you can think about the chorus bum, 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 and it can set you up for something that you are more comfortable with. Yeah, so that's another thing. Now, what is the difference between how you feel the motion in the beginning and how the motion feels at letter A? It's not the same, I guess, right?
It's a lot more horizontal in the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're talking here about lyrical and vertical, yeah. And so you don't want to kind of try to lead the phrase like you did before, but bum, 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 bum. Actually, give this, space to these harmonies, yeah, and not feel like you have to continue. Shaping it in a linear way. Can we try from the chords? Okay, very good. Let's talk a little bit about the sound production in the chords. Yeah, it's tough because they're so full and there is so many open strings. Yeah, you really want to take advantage of the open strings and again let them ring. Yeah, it seems to me a little bit like if you follow through just a little bit more with the right arm, it would again help release the sound into the air. Can you try just the three of you? Now, who is initiating? Who is giving the sign here, or who is kind of leading this chorus?
We kind of take it from her right on A, and then.
Okay. I would say maybe can I suggest something? can you all three of you try to lead that? So basically really be very active in showing everyone else where to play the chords and how to play them, and at the same time observe, you know, what happens in the group and kind of try to collect it together. Yeah? Let's try that right on A. Maybe just the three of you. Okay, very good. Now I must say that it's much more together. Yeah, it's much more together. Now, your retakes are very, very quick. And you're already there. I wonder if they can be a little bit more round and kind of, you know, just kind of going back and forth. Yeah, again, because it's going to first of all give you this resonance, but I think also it will be easier for you to feel the rhythm, because again, bum, 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 bum. They're not bum, 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 kind of, you know, continuously going. Can I maybe play with the three of you these chords? Yeah, so kind of together with doing it, I'm trying to shape bum, 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 bum. Yeah, because he's like oscillating 1, 5, 1, 5, and then 5, 1, 5, 1. Yeah, so you're kind of making sense of that. Can you try to do it on your own? Very good, very good. And now maybe try again to think a little bit more about the resonance rather about the sheer volume. It's really one of the places that the collective is more than, you know, the sum of the individual. So one thing, especially for you, you kind of want to think that that's the melodic, or yeah, the top voice. So this should really sound like, you know, and you are the bass. So again, when you are playing the bass, what do you want to think about?
Kind of strong and firm.
Strong and firm, and maybe can I add to that a little bit kind of resonance? Like basically you want to think that their overtones should fit into your sound. So the sound can't be very narrow, yeah? So kind of you want, instead of doing something like this, you want to open up the sound, and basically your job is, you know, to blend in, yeah? Try that. Very good, very good. Can we now add you? You don't really react now to the fact that there is a chord here. So bum 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 bum. I think it's very important that this kind of second half is not the same like before. Yeah. So it's not now that it's just going. I would really kind of say, oh, now it's 5. Yeah. Now your chords, for my taste, they're a little bit. They sound a little bit long or longer than their chords. Maybe you want to do. Something that is, again, more impact and more resonant out. Okay. Yeah? Try that and go on. Yeah, that's very beautiful. I think the chords are much better. Sometimes it's not precisely together, yeah, but I think it's just a matter of really leading and collecting, yeah, the group like you did before. Who is, again, how are you leading it? So maybe here it goes back to the linear approach. I would really say that every part here is responsible for giving the motion. And it's kind of interesting that, you know, they all play on the beat and you have the off beats.
Yeah.
So you kind of literally want to think that you are going against the cello line. Actually, can we maybe hear just the first violin and cello right on this participle? Yeah, very good. Can you think that you are the bass line that determines the pacing? So in other words, so again, you're the bigger picture and you are going, you know, against that or across, yeah? Yeah, for me it sounds a little bit like you're being very accommodating and you are slightly too late and then everything is getting a little bit slower. So which bar are you going to lead to here?
20.
Okay, yeah, that's the arrival. But I would say that maybe yeah, that's where the first two bars are going. Right? Okay, very good. With everybody? Conversation is going on. You have so much character in the that's very, very good. I would maybe think about darkening the sound in the second part of the piano, the tom, 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 because the first one is bright, right? And then the second one is maybe darker until now the second theme, yeah, so 34. What kind of color, what kind of character, what kind of scenery are we entering into?
Something more like light and bright.
Light and bright, yes, yes. Can you think maybe also something more warm? Yeah, rather than kind of yeah. So we are kind of take a little breath from this incredible intensity. Can you try that? Maybe, I don't know what is a good place to start. Maybe the second fortepiano in the ready. Sorry to stop you so soon. I think your part is really crucial to this character change because we have yeah, you really close this cadence and you bring us to the solo. I really think that this is like the viola diva moment. Yeah, so I would play. Do you have a crescendo there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you can come out more than everybody else, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
And kind of also with the expressivity. And maybe one last time. You want to kind of coordinate, so take it from, what is your name? From Deepu, yeah. Now, where you guys just started, again, you want to be, again, responsible for the larger shape. bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so you are the harmony, and you want always, as a cellist and as a, you know, someone who provides the bass line, you want always to think how to collect these bars together and where is the harmony going, and kind of try to inspire everybody with that rather than feeling that you have to accommodate what is happening on, you know, on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah? Can you try one last time? And wonderful sound.
I could probably do one.
Yeah, and I think, you know, it's a little bit deceiving because it does say piano. It does say piano, but I think this is one of these pianos that are not hushed, yeah, but are more, I'm singing. And when we play solo line, especially when it comes from the middle voices, it's a different type of piano than, you know, just playing a supportive voice piano. So you really want to have a little bit more core, so it projects really to the back of the hall, but also you want to kind of, you know, give your all. Yeah, maybe right on that. With the bass lines. Sometimes for me it's a little bit too less sound, and again what I'm more going after is not even the volume, although I would add more volume, but actually hearing the pitches, because they're so important.
Yeah.
Because they're so important, because that's the harmonic bass. That was really gorgeous. That was really simply really gorgeous, and it's really not too much. It's really not too much. Good job on the passage, and you guys have such an integrity in all the ta-ta-ta-tam, pam, pam, in all these chords. That's really wonderful. In the following section, yeah, I don't always hear, that's the timer. I don't always hear enough pitch and enough character of the sforzandi. I love that you're using your bow speed to execute them, but I don't always feel that it's supported also, that you are able to swoop the string at the same time. But I mean, this is just details, and you guys are fantastic. Bravo! Bravo!